Hello everyone, this is Migo Hunter, and today we have Chimera's Summer Bash Round 4 match between pwnbyplywood and Chykka. Pwnbyplywood has a team of Beheaded, who's the rest? Beheaded and Bison, Gordo, and Noel. And Chykka is running a team of Carl Clover, Fights, Carmine, and who's the last one? Vega, right. So we see Chykka bring out the Fights for the first game. Not sure why. Sometimes he brings out the Carl Clover, but it felt like playing Fight today, I assume. Fight basically, what's the best way to describe Fight? A somewhat zoner with explosive power, assuming he has the resources to spend for it. Meanwhile, Beheaded is a Shoto who slowly builds up stats as the game progresses, every time he exceeds. So, yeah, Beheaded, kind of a Season 2 character in the way that he gains permanent upgrades. Alright, Pwnby was starting first, just preps turn 1. Chykka has a few options here. Has Electro Charge, a bit risky. Has power. Has okay. Chooses to instead play Dash. Can advance or retreat 2, and if you didn't move add opponent, add this card to gauge. So this is like the easiest. It's like a key charger of movements. Not bad. Choosing to retreat to range 6, where nothing hits except for Electro Charge. Forcing Beheaded to move in if he wants to do any damage. All right, we see a dodge roll from Beheaded, advancing 3. All right, Fight boosts light at a range 3, makes sense. Makes all his options go live here. Spike, dive, assault. A 7-speed explosive shot. Excessive, but, well, just text it immediately. Makes sense. Behead is saying, find something else better to do. Fight boosting smaller light after retreat 1 clause doesn't really matter here. Unless Fight plays assault or dive. Because Fight retreating 1 to the corner, well, retreat 1 to the corner doesn't affect his positioning. Yeah, so a little bit of boosting going on. Can Beheaded can match this +1 speed, or if he wants to, Tornado. Can also boost his own lights. We don't. Piercy doesn't have it. No strikes yet. Just jobs for positioning and boosting. Fights in the corner, so that's good for Beheaded at least. But Fight has quite a few movement boosts just to get out if he so wishes. Actually, a lot of movement for this character. A surprising number of movements. And when he exceeds, Fight exceeds, he can play boosts from the discard pile or gauge. And they all trigger the now move effects. Is it continuous boost only for his exceed? I forgot. See, move a card might be motioning for an EX here. An EX here would essentially negate the +1 speed. Negate the advantage gained by the plus one speed, rather. No? Pretty fast decision for detect the light earlier, but now not sure what to do after the plus one speed. Beheaded does not have any above curve options here. Has to deal with fight having one speed over him. Checking the discard and seeing there's only one sweep in there. Yep, the game just started. A few responses Beheaded could do here is simply just to move in if he doesn't want to deal with the plus one speed. Fight at range one. Well, actually, fight at range one is still pretty dangerous. Now I think about it, because fight can just add staple plus two power. So it can threaten stuff like 8 damage sweeps if Beheaded is not careful. You can think about fight having essentially fierce at any time, assuming he spends the force for it. In some cases, better than Akuma because he's not risking anything, even if he is more resource intensive. Looks like he's mostly towards the EX attack. Not sure he wants to commit. He's already motioned that he has an EX attack, so perhaps he should just go for it. You've already given information away. What? That was a different EX attack. If Chico's paying attention, maybe that indicates he has two? Wow. Chykka just playing block here, risking betting that he wasn't initiating with a spike. Alright, so 4 damage incoming. The plus 1 speed did not matter, nor does the retreat one matter. The boost merely just to scare him off. Well, to attempt to scare him off. Alright, no damage taken. Prep, makes sense. He had to have another EX. I feel like he does. I felt like he was motioning over this dive attack, and then he was motioning these two cards here. So maybe he has another EX attack that he was not willing to play. Prep, forcing Fight to do something on his turn, which Fight can. I mean, it's very easy for Fight to convert damage. So initiating his Fight is pretty good, especially if you are looking to outspeed and stun the opponents. Fight at 2 gauge just needs one more to exceed and gain some continuous boost. Also, his exceed UA changes to so he can spend up to 3 force, so you can get even more power. Okay, initiating a single card doesn't spend for power. Could be power jump would be a funny option. Doesn't seem likely. Most likely it's just a normal of some kind. Oh, fight initiative for dive. Wow, that's cheeky. Cheeky dive to get out. Um, Obviously, fight wanted to get a corner and does not seem to mind range 3 here. Being cornered by beheaded is very bad. So a good choice there because beheaded has a way of a denial for the corner. Um, when you're in a corner, you cannot cross out. So basically less options for beheaded to escape. Oh, be right back. Okay, I am back. So pwnbyplywood's deciding what to do at range 3 here. Um, he's down 2 dive attacks, but still has all the range 3 options in the world if he wants to initiate. This may be a long one, folks. Um, both players sometimes take their time on their turns. pwnbyplywood's probably also not familiar with fight. I don't think he's ever fought fight before. All right, we see a strike here finally. Um, fight probably just responding instantly with a cross here. Oh, never mind. He spends 2 power. Oh. Ah, it is the lightning gun. I see. So lightning gun will hit for 6 damage. Very nice. And he has a key charge to retreat 2 and get gauge. Wow, I forgot about lightning gun. Forgot beheaded. I mean, not beheaded. Fight build up to gauge. Well done. That was a good above curve option. Pretty much in response to anything beheaded does except for sweep. Sweep would be the worst case scenario because it actually trades a lightning gun. Beheaded range 5 can only hit with infantry bow. But however, infantry bow does lose to the explosive shot. Explosive shot 5 speed. So even um, initiating infantry bow is a risky proposition against explosive shots. Fight is down. It's only in 2 cards right now. Probably will be prudent for pwnbyplywood to simply just move in and pressure fights while he is somewhat low on resources. Infantry bow, not the answer if you think that Chykka has explosive shots. It's going for it anyway. Oh, he's gonna eat 5 damage, isn't he? Yep. It will stun out Phaser. Phaser does not have enough guard to handle this. So looks like pwnbyplywood tried to somewhat hedge against explosive shot. However, for getting an explosive shot essentially is 5 damage and adds the top card of his discard to gauge. Wow. So gets the 2 force that he just spent, gets it back. This card is insane, by the way. Like, absolutely absurd. Okay, fight preps. Happy with this position. Good life lead. Good resource lead. Forcing Beheaded to blow a gauge. Things are not looking good for pwnbyplywood here. Gauge is very important for Beheaded to slowly escalate. So losing the gauge and whiffing, I mean getting stunned is very bad. Oh, we see a CC2 to draw 3. Okay, trying to dig for something. Fight Content to prep, because he's happy at this range. Has another explosive shot to threaten. Has electro charge if he feels frisky. Not quite enough gauge for railgun yet, but railgun even becomes a decent option once he has 4 gauge. Beheaded has to close in at some point. There we go. Not sure why the hesitation, but I guess wanted to evaluate whether he could maybe. Yeah, I feel like there's no question that you should move in, especially against a character like Fights. And Beheaded at range 2 is pretty okay. Has Twit Daggers as a range 2 option on curve. I think that's both wrenching whips down. We've seen one boosted earlier to advance 3. Chykka probably considering to exceed here, but exceeding would be quote unquote suboptimal because he has 2 force here. Can I just say how badly the specials and ultras blend together in this fight set? Like, there's hardly any difference. You see the gauge cost, and then like the box is yellow. That's it though. The box is more yellow rather, like magma color. It's like really hard to tell between specials and ultras at first glance. Very, very no good. All right, it's Chika's turn to think about what to do here. Now that Behead is at range 2. Might choose to exceed here. Will do so. Yeah, that's why he was checking his discard. Wanted to see what boosts were available. So exceeding will grant him 2 continuous boosts, which is a drastic tempo change. Maybe he's gonna get Way of the Warrior. No, instead boosts Arachnomorph. I see. Should probably flip his character. Okay, interesting. So could have chosen to take in +2 speed, but instead opts for Arachnomorph. So wants to take a range 3 with +1 speed. So it could be trending possibly another explosive shots. Retreating bolts will miss because it's a before retreat too. So it's probably just trending another explosive shots or just an assault or something like that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Fight did have a sweep in discard, so could have chosen to take a light if you wanted to. Yeah, I think this screams second explosive shot more than anything. Beheaded initiates, if anything, it's bound to get blown up, so should think of something else better to do. Taking the power is an option. Maybe even moving to range 1 and just blocking. But right now, it's hard to compete against Fight's boost game right now. And Fight now has +3 power, should he spend the force for it. Fight is not a bad character, folks. This character can be crazy. Could we see a risky reading? No, we see a knife dance. +1 range on hit, gain advantage. +1 range here essentially means that Beheaded gains +1 speed, effective +1 speed. So trying to compete against Fight's +1 speed with that knife dance boost. Will it be enough? If Fight initiates with something on curve, then Beheaded has to respond with something above curve, like an EX Cross or an EX Twin Daggers. Chykka now less confidence about the stat line now that Beheaded has boosted the extra range. The hit gain advantage, well, it's actually not a problem. Fight can easily. It's not like Beheaded could steal advantage because Fight can boost enough power to just simply stun any slows. So the hit gain advantage is not a problem. The extra range could be a problem. Beheaded could risk it, could initiate, and hope that. I mean, Fight could initiate and hope that Beheaded doesn't have an EX on defense. Fight could initiate his own EX, but would be a little bit expensive. Parry. What's the parry target? Trying to parry cross or wolf twin daggers. Gets across. Perhaps now it can basically diffusing the threat of EX cross. If Beheaded initiates, if you behead as a second cross, you can initiate and maybe get away with not being murdered. However, Fight does have a cross catcher in the form of Electro Charge, which would be a bold call out, but it would catch cross. In addition, Fight could have his own EX on defense, like EX Assault, perhaps, to beat out any cross attempts that pwnbyplywood might initiate here. We see a parry by pwnbyplywood. What is the parry targets? Block, okay. Interesting parry target there. Uh, Chykka, I'll just say interesting. Chykka has already dropped both blocks, so that is an interesting parry indeed. Clearly just wanted hand info or he forgot. And now this hand is pretty, well, Exodia parry does not work out. I mean, it does work, but now Chykka's just going to initiate with assault with no fear, I would assume. The only thing that would beat assault would be EX uh, Twin Daggers. Yes. So yeah, I'm not sure what the Exodia parry was meant to accomplish. We do get hand info, but the thing about parry is that like you want to the best case of parry is that you want to eliminate like a really dangerous card from the opponents and just not have to worry about it. Using it to gain only hand info is mostly a waste in my opinion. I say mostly a waste because if the opponent's smart, they won't let you get away with a free reading. Um, and in addition, they might not even care about a reading, depending on their hand composition. So therefore, yeah, pairing for information, it's wrong. I think it is wrong most of the time. Better to just eliminate a threat that the opponent has to not worry about it. Like he could have parried assault if he was worried about a on curve option. He could have parried explosive shot if he was worried about that as well. So now Chykka pretty much initiates assault without worry, unless he really, really doesn't want to thinks that he has EX Twin Daggers. Not to mention, Fight also has a 3 force, easily accessible 3 force because he has 3 ultras in hand. So very easy to get the max power out of assaults. And if Fight's once and then it'll gain advantage for Fight as well. So if he gains advantage, then Chykka could just simply prep just to get a better hand. So that this hand info, if this assault goes off, this hand info that pwnbyplywood just got is pretty much irrelevant. Like completely irrelevant. Looks like Chykka still is not sure whether he wants to initiate with assaults. Even though it should be, unless you're really worried about EX Twin Daggers, do you bet that he has EX Twin Daggers? Personally, I would not assume that he has EX Twin Daggers. Here we go. We see the assault come out. Railgun spent for 2 force. Just spends the 2 force. So this is 8 damage assault. Only cares about, just wants to reach the threshold. We see beheaded wall swing. does not have EX Twin Daggers. We'll take 8 for his trouble. Yep. Down to 11 HP. This was this is a power fight, by the way. I think only 3 strikes occurred, and Beheaded is almost dead. And now with this advantage, we saw the hand. Not a very good hand for range 1. Fight can simply just off the prep and be happy. This hand info that he got is not really going to help him. Maybe Chykka was considering the boost there, but decides to just prep for 2 new cards and more options at range 1. Very bad exchange there from Beheaded. If he had parried assaults, then he could no longer have to worry about. Well, I guess the problem with parrying assault is that Chykka simply had the second one. I think that explosive shot is a worthwhile parry target, especially at range 3 with +1 speed. Bianca also just have simply initiated with a range 2 option instead of parry. If you initiate with a cross or twin daggers, then Fight just has to play it slow to trade with him. Which Fight did not have a slow, did he? Did not. So yeah, that parry turn was proving to be costly here. Can we see he had to do initiate EX. Was this an EX that was shown at the start of the game? Maybe. Fight while swinging. The perfect wall swing. The EX grasp out of desperation will not work out. Not sure what the yep. Not sure what the EX grasp was attempting there, because unless initiating with an 8 speed EX grasp, I guess wanted to prevent a mix up. Why did he prep? Why did wait? Am I missing something? Oh, did Chykka just prep immediately after? Oh, was that what did Chykka do a fast prep and I missed it? Okay. I'll count the players keeping track of stuff. Let me ask. Oh, you know what? Never mind. We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. I think based on hand size, it seems that Chykka prepped. And I was boosting +2 power because you know, as the fight needed any more power. Actually, not sure why he boosted. He gave up a range 1 option to boost Fierce. Could be playing EX. Could be playing 6 power grasp, especially with EX grasp down. I don't know if this Fierce is the right play. Maybe it's fine. I mean, with this life lead, it's probably fine. 20 HP life lead, I don't think this play matters. But I would be wary to drop. If I was in Chykka's position, I would be wary to drop second grasp. Especially when the opponent has dropped the both. Prep, discard one. Looks like Beheaded does not have anything better to do on his turn, unfortunately. Probably just digging for block to survive. Wait, did Beheaded drop both blocks? He dropped one. Beheaded dropped one block. Beheaded could also cross or perhaps dive if he doesn't want to get destroyed. Now deciding which of his 8 cards he wants to discard. Okay, discards Assault Shield. I think that makes sense. Assault Shield is not really going to help you at all with no traits up. Assault Shield will just pretty much get stunned by anything that Fight throws out, realistically. Okay. Fight could just initiate a strike here and hope Beheaded doesn't have any answer to it. Beheaded, 7 cards left in deck though. Probably at least has his second block. Who knows? He could be unlucky though. Yeah, if we think about relevant combat options pwnbyplywood has to not die, it would be something like cross, dive, block. So Chykka just has to keep in mind for those options, and he's fine. There's really nothing else Beheaded could do to dodge stuff. Does a reading for good measure, just to get hand info if it misses. This reading has a very high likelihood of hitting, because pwnbyplywood has 8 cards and only 7 left in deck. It's going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, so 3 power, 5 power, 5 plus 5 power strike, and a reading on top of it. Is this reading successful? It is not successful. Oh no. This could be a costly turn. Is Beheaded simply going to cross out? Maybe Fight played a cross of his own? Don't play the focus. Don't think focus will help you. I think based on that hand, it's better for pwnbyplywood to just cross out and hope for the best. Hope that Fight did not play his second cross. Because that's the only thing that Fight has in range 1 that's fast, right? In this position. Oh, could be playing Lightning Gun? Could be playing a Lightning Gun here. Right, Fight has 2 gauge. Lightning Gun is the thing. But Focus will get you stunned. But maybe you need a +2 armor. Maybe. Oh, okay, right. I forgot Retreating Bolts is a card. Well, I think... Oh, he's not dead. He's 1 HP. Was it 1? Should be 1 HP. Oh, he's conceding. Right, yeah. Should have done 7 damage, which doesn't kill, but essentially unwinnable, which makes sense. Oh, and Retreating Bolt sets up for Lightning Gun too. Oh, that's gross. That's so gross. Chykka takes game 1 pretty convincingly. Near perfect too. Pretty sure we've seen a story like this happen before where Chykka on the fight almost gets a perfect. Maybe Chykka should just lead with fight every game, because Jesus, this fight looks good. I legitimately forgot fight has a 7 speed range 1 option in the form of Retreating Bolts. I actually forgot about this. I was like, why did he play +2 power? And then like an idiot, I forget because it doesn't matter he drops the second grass because he has a 7-speed option in the form of retreating bolts. So yeah, I mean Chika is just a better player than me. So obviously he knows what he's doing, dropping both grass. Well, I don't, because I'm the clueless commentator. And yep, well done by Chika. Very convincing game. And now on to game two. Chika no longer able to pick fights as Vega, Carl Clover, and Carmine on the wings, ready to go. If Chika wants to play to win hardcore, he'll probably just play Carmine. If he wants to win with style, he'll probably just play Carl. Who knows? I think we see Chica's Vega. Yeah, Chica has played Vega before. Chica has played everyone on this team, so good on him. I respect people who use the whole roster and don't just bring one or two cheerleaders. They just stand there and watch. Speaking of cheerleaders, I don't think we've seen pwnbyplywood ever play Gordo, but I don't think he's confident enough in his Gordo to ever pick him. Meanwhile, while they're deciding, I'll just go grab dinner. Hey, that's Spirit. Chica playing Carl Clover. Very nice. Have we seen Chica play? Actually, have we seen Chica play Carmine? I don't know if we have. Maybe one game? But Chica playing Carl because he likes him. Not because he's a good character, but because he likes him. And I really do respect low tier heroes. So the Carl Clover gets beheaded. I actually played this matchup, and it's probably totally okay for Carl. Well, not totally okay. He has some annoying fast pokes to worry about, but nothing too egregious. Yeah, so this is probably a perfectly fine matchup. Uh, Beheaded does have a couple of movement options to help him get out of the sandwich, so Carl has to watch out for that. But Carl can play a pretty decent. Carl's game plan is just to brawl with normals early, generally, and then later on cash out with Nirvana specials. And he could do that against Beheaded. He could do that against Beheaded because Beheaded does not have any traits to start, so normals are pretty okay. Being normals man until he gets more resources for Nirvana. Alright, and I don't think pwnbyplywood has played against Carl. I don't know. I don't know if he's had any anti-Carl practice. So we'll see. Carl is definitely a killer of players that do not know how to fight him because they will forget about his extra stats, forget about that you can turn Nirvana off at times. Generally, just a bunch of knowledge checks because Carl is a little complex. Should probably take the time to read Nirvana's card if he hasn't yet. And yeah, if you hear silence, that means I'm eating. So don't mind me. Interesting enough, Chykka only mulled one card, so pretty happy with his hand. And also, Chykka earlier seemed to be explaining what Nirvana does to his opponent. What a gentleman. Make sure he doesn't stumble into Nirvana's uh, mechanics unaware of how she works. All right, and we're off. Looks like starts with turn one prep from plywood. His usual, seems like his usual opening. Took a long time on that mulligan, and then chose to prep. So not liking what he has in hand right now, or just trying to build up hand advantage over Carl. Carl's turn one normally is to dive turn one, just to get into range one and do stuff, while Nirvana hangs back. But diving is not really an option against beheaded, because he has two fast dives. Chooses instead to boost Allegretto plus one speed after advanced retreat one. The after advanced retreat might be relevant just to set up some positioning afterwards. Plus one speed, making his dives. I think Chykka only mulled one, so probably Chykka has like EX dive or something. So yeah, good options. Probably Chykka has some good options in hand to have the plus one speed up. Looks like we saw beheaded. I missed beheaded initiate a strike here. Did he? I think beheaded initiated a block, and then Chykka responded with focus. I think he wall swung that focus as well, because Chykka's had 6 cards. Yeah. Wow. Weird turn. Wait. Oh my god. Now I gotta ask. Oh no. No. It looks like it was a focus from hand. Okay, that makes sense. Focus from hand, and then drew a card, and then chose the after advance one. So Puppet would initially would block to bait out something. Maybe the EX dive that I thought Carl might have had. But instead, yep. Alright. Boosting Virtuoso, giving Carl a little extra stats, and Nirvana can actually move a little bit, which is a godsend because Nirvana barely moves. But mostly cares about these stats here. Plus one power, plus one speed. Pretty good at range 3, makes assault above curve, etc., etc. So now, stats that Beheaded has to worry about here. Alright, pretty typical sequence. Behead responds with tech, doesn't want to deal with the stats. And Carl just preps. Because that boost essentially cost him 3 force to play because he discarded Ultra. Because this boost is on an Ultra. Alright, Beheaded boosting defend, Armor Guard. Pretty solid boost, underrated. Um, lets him respond with something like an Assault on defense. Oh, looks like Carl found the better boost though. +2 speed. Does Beheaded have another tech? Carl threatening a 6 speed dive if he wants to sandwich. Would be very good here just to 6 speed dive just to avoid everything and set up the sandwich if pwnbyplywood initiates. pwnbyplywood could also choose to do something like move to range 1 to negate the speed boost. Well, not negate, but minimize the impact of that speed boost. Oh, we see a second attack. Alright, Beheaded is down both dives, but has gotten a couple of annoying boosts out of the way, which is good for him. We see attack on the defend boost. I'm not sure why. Maybe he has nothing better to do. Maybe worried about if Carl plays assaults, Beheaded would just steal advantage back. I'm not sure. In any case, pwnbyplywood just plays the second defend up. Will he take this one? I think we kind of see the struggle of Carl here. Nirvana kind of out of any range to do anything except to throw a fireball or a below curve confoco. Right, Carl, after some thought, boosts power. I think he's threatening the obvious cantabile on defense. Just the above curve option with +2 power. But actually, no. I guess that's why he teched the defend. He teched the defend because Cantabile only does 1 damage, so would not stun anything that he plays, Beheaded plays. Carl boosting +2 power anyway. Maybe just trying to do a little bit trading here. Even though he's probably not going to pop this guard. Does not have enough power to do so. Unless he does EX Confoco. That'll be funny. And we see Beheaded finally initiate a strike. First strike of this game. After a bit of back and forth, moving and boosting. Actually, no, this is the second strike. Sorry, the first strike was the initiating block. Oh, that is a cross. Okay. So the plus power actually wasn't to do anything. It was just to pass the turn. All right, and Carl predictably moving Nirvana to range 1, so that Nirvana can actually do things. Cross working out pretty well for Carl here position-wise. Though if Beheaded is worried, you can just simply move out of the way, maybe initiate with Phaser, and then do some damage. Nirvana zoning isn't that effective. Well, it can be if Nirvana is unflippable, but if Beheaded has fast pokes, then he can potentially just stun out Nirvana before she could do anything of impact. You see a strike initiated anyway. Could this be a phaser? This does seem to be, it seems like a phaser play to me. It's like a phaser or a grass play, maybe. Grass to stun out Nirvana. Carl has to kind of call this correctly. Um, I guess if Carl has EX Conbrio, it's expensive, but it's probably the easiest decision to make. Actually, EX Conbrio doesn't even work against Phaser. EX Conbrio only does 4 damage because no sandwich, and then Phaser has 4 guard. So EX Conbrio is kind of a pathetic answer to Phaser. What does Carl even do here? I guess just to get wall swinging, hoping for the best. Either this is a phaser or Nirvana's gonna try and get flipped. Maybe pwnbyplywood did maybe Chykka did explain to pwnbyplywood how Nirvana works so that he knows that he can turn her off. Carl pretty rubbish on defense unless he has Cantabile as an above curve option or normals. Or he just plays block. That makes sense. And we do see the grass come out. Just to get free gauge. Get free gauge during 4. Carl gets gauge as well, but Nirvana's turned off. Deactivated. Cannot do anything right now until the next clean up with next strike. Clean up next strike is when Nirvana can rise up again. If Carl Clover was brave enough, he could have played dive here and punished that grasp attempt. But he was not willing to. Or just did not have dive, obviously. Armor guard? Okay. So armor guard, either just a waiting move, or he has second dive just to not get stunned out. Alright, and Beheaded immediately exceeds, choosing what trait to boost. Ranges might be good here, because of their range 4. does indeed choose range. I agree with this. Wrenching whip hits, and wrenching whip hits. No, nothing else hits. Actually, infantry bow obviously hits, but did beheaded draw for end of turn? Maybe he did. I guess he should have chosen the trait before he drew the card, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. Just something to keep in mind in the future. No worries. Okay, well, Carl does have the armor guard, but Carl maybe should tempt. What is he gonna do against the beheaded stats though? Plus one power, plus one speed, and extra range. Maybe just move in. If he moves in to range one, then he could probably just play sweep or focus to trade with what beheaded does, because he would have plenty of guard and one armor, obviously. I'll be right back. I gotta wash the dishes, but yeah, dinner's done, so I can talk more. Looks like Carl spent a grasp or something to move to range 3, and then yeah, simply prepped. Not sure. I guess range 3 would mean that hmm, Cantabile turns on. Cantabile into advantage. Would be a terrible trade against what Beheaded will do, though. Cantabile to pull Behead to range 1 and then get the sandwich, perhaps. Nirvana will flip forward, will flip face up. But again, still looking like they'll run into a bad trade if he initiates a Cantabile. Does have a mix-up here with Dive also. Hey, Beheaded has +1 speed and +1 power, so... But if Beheaded does play something like Wolf Daggers, then it would not stun out Cantabile. So... Oh, Nirvana is flipped. Hurry, sis. Carl gets to take their action. Wow, what's this? Second Combrio? Most likely a second Combrio here. Kind of expensive turn, but has the second grass to turn Nirvana off. And asks Carl to spend a force for that as well. Wow. Well, not a good turn for Chykka. Chykka didn't expect the second grasp. But hey, well, that's Carl for you. Nirvana comes alive, and then she's back offline. And the opponent gets a gauge. Beheaded, no damage being done so far, but Beheaded is clearly doing very well. With one trade up, on his way to the second. Nirvana disabled. Both Combrios down. So basically Nirvana, there's no fast option for Nirvana. Alright, plays the on-curve wrenching whip. Carl loses both ultras. At least gets the block for his troubles. But still not good wall swings overall. Can pull or push Carl? Looks to push him away. Okay. Turn, basically make Carl's options more limited. Nirvana turns back on, but it really doesn't matter because both of her fast options are already gone. Confoco here would be incredibly risky. So Nirvana is basically just a gauge generator for Beheaded right now. Not going to do much with both her fast options down. I like how Carl has to spend his one fast option to flip her. Okay. Well, does get the sandwich, which could be relevant if Carl +1 power, +1 speed dive is a thing. However, Beheaded can match this by flipping right now. What trade does he want to choose? Armor Guard. Armor Guard's an interesting one. I guess it turns on what is that? What's that card? Let me look at it real quick. It turns on the Soul Shield because the Soul Shield has extra range and has before close too. So taking survival, telegraphing he has Assault Shield. Carl boosting +1 speed. To try and compete with Beheaded stats. Oh, right, I forgot. Normals don't get +1 power, +1 speed. The specials, only the specials and ultras do. Right. Why did I think Carl was a good character? Okay, so Carl does not have fast dives right now. The only specials and ultras that Carl's trending with his normals are Confoco, Katabile will miss, Con Anima, 4-speed Con Anima. That's not very good. But maybe he can get away with it. Maybe pwnbyplywood will be caught slipping and get hit by a Con Anima. You never know. Konanima would be a way for Carl to break through the guard of, Norse guard. So it stuns out the, what's that move again? I keep forgetting what that move is called. Assault shield. There you go. Yeah, it was Konanima was stun out assault shield. So maybe that's what Carl's threatening right now. Still, that would be the only thing that it beats, really. At only 4 speed. Um, Yet it could play any other option and it would lose pretty badly. Won't even get the after draw 2 because it's only has 3 guard. And, you know, Beheaded with +1 power right now can easily stun 3 guard. Not sure what, well, the +1 speed, I'm not sure what the +1 speed is really trying to accomplish other than a Hail Mary play. Maybe it helps Carl reposition a little bit if he plays it slow. Is that all he's looking for? I just realized Carl only has 8 cards left in deck. Wow. At least Carl does have enough damage to close out games. Assuming he's properly set up. So maybe he can just survive for now to build enough gauge for Nirvana to become unflippable or even play his ultras. Carl's down both blocks, which is pretty bad. Um, as long as pwnbyplywood doesn't get hit by a Konanima, he'll be fine. Alright, Konfoko is 6 speed right now. That is significant. That means Beheaded cannot simply play Infantry Bow for free. Beheaded, however, can play Dive Attack for free. Unless Carl has EX Confoco. EX Confoco costing 2 force for Nirvana to move 1 or 2 spaces, in addition to being a 4 special. Because Carl's just a very, very expensive guy. High maintenance character. How long has the recording been going? Uh, 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, 1 hour 20 minutes. And second game still in its very early stages. It's to be expected. It's to be expected. One Plywood has all the options in the world. If he doesn't want to worry about speed, he can boost +2 speed. If he wants to strike, initiate strike, just initiate something that's 5 speed, so that Nirvana realistically cannot outspeed and stun him unless he has EX Confoco somehow. Cantabile doesn't hit, so you don't worry about that. So yeah, play around your options. Unless Carl Clover has an EX Confoco, which would be 7 speed, then initiate something that's 6 speed and you'll be fine. And you get rid of the +1 speed boost. It's really that simple. Grasp, I think he has down both Grasp, so cannot use Grasp to turn her off, but it's still okay. Wants to take advantage of the extra stats anyway. Carl Clover is doing a good job not to get hit here, since Nirvana's eating all the hits. Parry? Parry a Confoco? Parry misses. What was the parry target? What the hell was the parry target here? I am confused. Okay, okay. Well, he doesn't have to worry. I see Kananima. That is fair. Doesn't have to worry about that side to mix up. Um, so if Carl initiates with Confoco, then yeah, he can just play Assault Shield and hit him back. Okay, that makes sense. Looks like the Con Anima parry is to open up the possibility of him playing a slow. Okay. Well, Carl boost. Yep, makes it makes Confoco 7 speed now, right? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Math checks out. So now he has a 7 speed online. +1 power will also make it 8 power Confoco. 8 power Confoco will stun Assault Shield, so that's no longer safe. Of course, Beheaded can just counter boost, can put up defend if he really wants to play Assault Shield. If Carl plays Confoco, it's going to be expensive for him. It's going to cost 2 force to make Confoco hits. Striking. I hope. Oh. Well, EX Confoco just to be sure. Okay, makes sense. Just in case. I like how he just wanted to make sure that it's not a cross that stuns her out, that turns her run off. But a very convenient top deck Confoco. It's got to spend one more force on. Oh, never mind. Doesn't have to spend force. Huge. This boost moves Nirvana. But okay. Well, Beheaded kind of just let himself get stunned there, not knowing that EX Confoco, even one Confoco been enough to stun. But well, Carl gets a lucky break. Well, this is how you lose to Carl, by the way. You're not aware about how much damage he does. Confoco is an 8 damage option that would stun out Assault Shield, even though it has focus defenses. And Carl just preps. Has Cantabile up. Suddenly looks okay for Carl now because he has life lead and Cantabile up. pwnbyplywood making a serious error, just running into the most obvious confoco in the world, not knowing that it does enough damage to stun. Unfortunate turn. Unfortunate turn for Beheaded. Could have been avoided. But hey, it's the Carl Clover knowledge check I'm talking about. The best Carl Clover wins I've seen are ones that the opponent does not know how he works, and he can feast on that lack of experience. At least Beheaded has 2 traits up, but 2 traits up does not contest with 7-speed Cantabile. Maybe can initiate slow if he wants to be tricky. Bait out the Cantabile. Nirvana is down all her fast options. So really the only thing to worry about from Nirvana is Konanima. Rhapsody of Memories, both of them are down. Carl has boosted both. Carl might look to reshuffle or just draw through his deck soon so that options are actually back online. Hmm. Carl mostly choose deck. Beheaded can deduce a lot of kind of deduce what he has left here. Maybe trying for a reading? No, just a strike. Just a naked strike. Um, has to guess whether it's a slow or a fast. If it's a slow, play Con Anima. If it's a fast, play uh, Cantabile, because Cantabile is 7-speed. So Carl has to choose. Well, dive attack works. It's not like Cantabile does enough damage to stun. Cantabile only doing 1 damage. Huge. Absolutely massive. Can pull. She's pull beheaded too. Nirvana move 1. Okay. And then dive attack will hit back for 3 and push Carl to the corner. Okay. Well, that is not a good trade for Carl, but Carl gets the gauge, which is important. Carl is generally pretty gauge hungry, either for his ultras or for his overdrive. Even just as force, because Carl has force costs all over the place that he wants to spend it on. Alright, Nirvana beat Rage 1. Con Anima becoming live again. So kind of just trying to trend the mix up here. If Beheaded, however, Beheaded does have the armored guard up, so it's not like cross really matters. it's not like getting hit by cross matters or getting hit by cantabile matters. I almost forgot about this trait to be honest, and it's a good one. It's a very good one. Okay, beheaded got +2 speed now. We see a focus. Oh, will it land? Is this the con anima play? Wow, it is. Big turn. Will deal 4 damage. Ignore guard. And, well, actually, focus to draw first. No, no, never mind. Con anima has 3 speed. Yep. And we'll have to discard 2 cards at random. Carl was digging for that reading into con anima play, and he got it. Loses phaser. Loses infantry bow. Alright, losing phaser is pretty huge. Whoa, don't reveal your whole hand. Good. Yep, and now beheaded light is the threat of light is removed, and the threat of reading is removed simultaneously, while also losing him 2 cards. This is Chykka's turn? Yeah, I think it's Chykka's turn. pwnbyplywood prepped, and then Chykka is now deciding what to do. Reshuffle, so they can play Deus Ex Machina. I think pwnbyplywood might get hit by that, assuming assuming Chykka does another sick reading play. Actually, Chykka's down both focuses. It's not gonna happen. Reshuffle for Deus Ex Machina anyway. You can do it. Come on. Wow. CC1. I see CC Confoco back just to get it back in his deck before reshuffle. That makes sense. Just a bunch of normals and Cantabile, which is enough. Has a little mix up here at this range. Range 2 has a speed 7, has a spike. Yeah, perfectly fine hand in this position. I don't know if... I don't think Behead has a second reading. Maybe he does. EX? No? Wave of Denial is live here. Um, oh, EX. Is it EX Wave of Denial and some other mix-up I'm not aware of? Maybe EX, no. It's not EX Spike. That much we know. Carl probably just responds with uh, sweep here, right? Maybe EX Cross? I'm not sure what EXs are available. Maybe EX Cross is still live for Beheaded. Hmm. Plays a sweep. Oh, is the EX Cross. I think moved back one more space than he should. Is it? No, it should be. Alright. We do see the reshuffle from Carl. So it gets the Deus Ex Machina back in hand. The rest of the hand still known. Carl played the sweep there just in case it was EX Wave of Denial. But pwnbyplywood knew better than to run to a sweep. So good job, good job. Now Beheaded does have enough gauge to exceed if he so wishes. pwnbyplywood trying to cheat by peeking into Chykka's hand, which is not possible. And here I see brutality. Yeah. Okay. Makes brutality come back online. Obviously threatening an infantry bow here. I'm pretty sure he has a second. Carl has a few options here. Maybe he can CC for relevant cards. Maybe he can burst, but might want to keep the ultra as a threat. So maybe he holds on to it. Carl doesn't need his Astral. His Astral's mostly a gimmick. And if it whiffs, obviously it's terrible. Because then you're literally only playing. If Nirvana's sealed, then you're literally just playing normals, man. For the rest of the game. Interesting. We see change cards to the cross and the spike. Um, hmm. Could have used run action, but maybe was worried about reading. Does Beheaded have a second reading available? He probably does. That's the only reason why he changed cards, right? Change cards instead of move. I mean, yeah. I mean, he took the move action instead of playing run. Yeah, my bad. I'm not sure why he wants to hang on to assault though. Maybe for his turn. Maybe assault. Is he gonna try Cantabile into Deus Ex Machina combo? Is he really gonna do that? Is he just gonna eat this beheaded hit and then go for that combo? If he does, he's crazy, but maybe he'll do it. Okay, Wrenching Whip will hit for 5, and he can push or pull 6 damage, actually, yes. And he can push or pull Carl. Maybe push Carl if he doesn't want to worry about Cantabile. Push! I mean, pull. I guess he wants to threaten. He does want to threaten Wave of Denial, maybe? Could want to threaten Wave of Denial here. Range 2 does make sense if he wants to play Wave. But Wave of Denial does not gain the bonus stats. Actually, it does. It pushes 3. Never mind. That card's good. My god, I think Chykka's down 3 life. Is he? He's going for the Deus Ex Machina, is he? He's gonna try and land that. I assume Chykka gave pwnbyplywood permission. Okay, that was a mistake. Because, yeah, you shouldn't look cheated that, 'cause that's cheating. Unless you plan to shuffle afterwards, that's not so bad. Spends 2 force to move back 2. Hmm, why? Maybe Carl has Confoco in his unknown 2 cards. If he does, it'll be good for him, maybe. Initiate Confoco, gain advantage, and then Deus Ex for the huge. Looks like cpat wants to come in. I will give him 1 extra slots. I like how the simple action of Beheaded moving back 2 spaces has Carl Clover stumped because Carl Clover can't deal with opponents that actually move. Highly, if you can, if you're a mobile character or just willing to spend force to move, then Carl Clover has a hard time catching you because Nirvana is the most immobile puppet in the world. Second, the most immobile is of course Serena, the immobile plant that literally cannot move. But Nirvana is pretty close to that level of immobility. Makes sense. This set has been going on for 2 hours. So this being the last game, regardless of outcome, makes sense. Oh, now we're zoning. Now we're zoning. Right, Carl spending his backstep to retreat to rage 7, letting his puppet do zoning as best she can. There we go. Good job, Nirvana. Good job. It's coming a little bit closer. Maybe she can hit with Confoco now. Gonna see reshuffle. Reshuffle here to get. I can see reshuffling here to get Phaser be very justified in this situation. Close 8, advance 1, gate advantage, +4 power. It's pretty good. Alright, we had to choose to reshuffle. Woo! Nice. Now maybe Phaser will come back online, and then Carlos will worry. Oh, uh, yeah, don't disable Nirvana. Carl overdrives, yes. So now Nirvana is unflippable and can move one space at the start of her turn. Nice. So this is what Chykka looked to be setting up for. So well done. Now Nirvana can actually be a real puppet that doesn't give the opponent free gauge. Hopefully Chykka doesn't forget that this kind of Bila is in his hand because it's off in Brazil. Alright, Chykka bringing his cards closer. I appreciate that. And now, with Nirvana being unflippable, is actually kind of a problem for Beheaded here. Has to move in. Well, it doesn't have to move in if he plays Phaser. Phaser can just move him in for him. There we go. I know how to use words. What does pwnbyplywood do here? What are his options? Range 2, the only thing that hits here is a Confoco, but that will change once the overdrive pops. Um, oh, he's spending force. Maybe pwnbyplywood now regretting that he moved 2 spaces back. 1, 2, 3, 4 force. Does not have phaser. Walks into the sandwich. Uh, well, I guess, there's not much he can do except to close distance. But now he has to eat the full extent of full-powered Carl. Nirvana be schmoving. Just burst. You're not gonna play Deus Ex Machina this game. Come on, Chykka. Like, I know you were trying to think about landing it before, maybe. You're like formulating plans to land it, but now it's not gonna land, so don't bother. Just burst. Alright, you may move Nirvana was based in strike. Okay. Um, looks like he is. Nirvana on top of him will strike. This cannot be the Astral, but it can be Con Anima, Con Brio, even Con Foco if he wants to pay the force. Though if it was Con Foco, he probably would not have moved Nirvana in. Uh, he had to play Sweep, which loses to both Con Brio and Con Anima, both. So I'm not sure what that Sweep was trying to accomplish. Loses to both sides, so he'll take 4 and push 2. Alright, that was Carl's turn. Push the opponent 2. Alright, can choose to use the sandwich again with the Nirvana action. Can burst here. There we go. Because you're not going to play the Astral. So now has 6 cards. Hopefully his hand is not just full of normals. Hopefully he has specials to threaten with. He did spend 1 Con Anima for Force playing Con Brio. So probably he has another one, I would assume. I guess the only problem here is Con Anima will still get stunned out by Infantry Bow. Yep, Carl going to strike with +1 power, +1 speed. Could also be Confoco here. Confoco here would be a little expensive, but definitely worth it because it's 7 damage gain advantage. EX? Oh my. We know it's not Kana Anima. So this is just the most obvious Confoco in the world. Probably just EXing it so that Beheaded cannot cross out. Because it's 6 speed right now. 6 speed, 7 damage. Pretty good. Carl has 15 cards left. Halfway post reshuffle. But definitely has enough damage to kill Beheaded before he runs out of cards. Hopefully, pwnbyplywood probably doesn't have a proper answer to this. Probably just has to wall swing or just block if he has one. If he doesn't have a block in hand, just wall swing for block. There's really nothing you can do against EX Confoco. There we go. Yep, we see infantry bow. And it's gonna hit for 7 damage because Beheaded has 1 armor. And Clover will gain advantage. Oh yeah, Clover does move. Alright. Clover flips back to front side. He may move Nirvana 1 space. Alright. That should not be engaged. Good catch. Gains advantage. Duet. Playing assaults. Oh, could be second Godbrio. That would be 7 damage. That's pretty nasty. Would cost all of Carl's force, but almost enough to kill Beheaded. I'm confident that he has no blocks. Oh. Well, alright, Cantabile will gain advantage. Will not pull, but still gains advantage. Does 3 damage. Nirvana is disabled because that's, you know, that's just her life. At least Carl gets advantage though. Um, Perhaps makes sense. Nirvana's disabled, so now this is Beheaded's chance actually, legitimately. Cantabile is down. Nirvana is down. You don't have to worry about her options. You got extra range. You got all the stats in the world. It's time to strike. Time to strike. Alright, pwnbyplywood checking this card again. Doesn't have to worry about Nirvana specials. Finally striking. What could it be? Carl crossing out? Carl attempting to defend with sweep. Wrenching whip will knock him out of the way and deal 5 damage. Pretty big. Pretty big 1 to 4 5 with plus armor plus 2 guard actually broken. However, Carl just prepping, not having anything to do on his turn, even though Nirvana flipped back up. Two Confocos are down. Could we realistically see a phaser? Phaser would be has 4 guard, I think. Yes. 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 So Phaser at 4 guard will not be stunned out by Cumbrio, should Carl choose to play it. Armor guard. Okay, give yourself a little extra protection. We'll make all his specials work now because, well, no, 4 damage Cumbrio. Cumbrio can still push. Make a beheaded miss in some instances. Hmm. Oh my. Do that again. So this is a 7 damage Cumbrio being set up. 7 damage, 8 speed Cumbrio. That's pretty good. And it will deal enough damage to kill unless beheaded has enough armor. Does beheaded have enough armor to survive this? He needs at least 1 more armor to survive this. If with an assault shield, it's possible. However, Cumbria will push and miss. What is this? Uh, well, I guess beheaded doesn't die, and well, at least flip Nirvana, but still not great. Also, I don't think beheaded's not stunned, is he? No. Yeah, no, he's definitely not stunned. So he can actually, uh, oh, right. Chykka run pay for course. Okay, beheaded can actually flip Nirvana here. Uh, defense should go away. Okay. Well, at range 6, there's really nothing Beheaded can do here. Except phaser in, but phaser in loses to slows really hard, especially with only 1 HP left. Beheaded can at least safely close, perhaps. Close the distance. Close some distance, maybe to range 3, range 4. And Nirvana won't hurt him. Okay, just choose to prep, prep, prep. Now we're in the awkward situation Exceed where both players are too far away from each other, and no one wants to really close in because doing so costs resources. Carl Clover can actually deck out here. At least 6 cards. Has to be careful. Has to not deck himself out. Beheaded still has both blocks alive, so it's entirely possible if Beheaded blocks 2 key combats, moves away, force Carl to chase him. What 11 cards does Carl have? Not very. He must be running out of a lot of good options. Both Conbrios down. Yeah. So really Carl just has to brawl with normals. Maybe Beheaded can start off something huge by reading into sweep or something. Reading dive into sweep. Or just start off a big sequence like that. In any case, Carl is now pressured to close the game with only 6 cards left in deck. I totally forgot infantry bow hits from this range because Beheaded has extra range. 2 to 6, not bad. It's like Akuma's fireball. I gotta get some fucking water. Uh, Beheaded boosting lights? I guess forcing Carl to strike if he doesn't want light to stay. Forcing Carl to strike if he doesn't want light to stay. Trent's infantry bow. I see. I can justify that lights. Parry bow. Okay, totally fair. Totally fair parry. Now Beheaded has to move in if he wants to deal damage. Having a coughing fit here. Something got in my throat. Um, with both infantry bows down, Beheaded has to close it if he doesn't want his light to be wasted, of course. This light will go to waste if he does not close in to a relevant range. Beheaded stepping one space forward, um, turns on his dive likes, turns on dive attack, turns on turns on dive attack. That's it, really. But I don't think Beheaded should run into a slow here, unless he has a death wish. I'm sure Carl has focuses and sweeps left, maybe one of each. I'm not sure. I was keeping track. I have long lost sense of time. Right, we see Carl initiate a strike, just baiting, probably baiting Beheaded to come in, and if Beheaded doesn't come in, Nirvana will come back on. Ooh, should be active. Maybe Carl initiate a block here to gain a gauge, regardless. Initiating block here would be pretty okay to get a third gauge. Try to finish out the game. Needs to find just one more damage. One more damage, and don't get decked out because you only have 9 cards left. That's dangerous. Uh, Beheaded killed himself because of the before close two. Well, that outsped the sweep because it's 3 speed, and yeah. Well, unfortunate mistake by Beheaded there. Um, Ran into sweep. There's no fireballs from Beheaded there, so Carl Clover initiating a slow made total sense. Um, well, why didn't Beheaded block? I'm not sure. Maybe Beheaded could have just wall swung or something as well, because Carl's not going to hit him. Carl's only going to play slows just to force him to waste his lights. And yeah, well, GG's. Chykka wins the set 2-0. Thanks for watching.